Hi, good morning. Pastor John here from Calvary Memorial Church, Coppin Boulevard, Northeast Philadelphia. Feasting on the Word, just to share this week. We're going to spend a little time in the Old Testament, in the book of Psalms, specifically Psalm 51. It was a psalm of David, King David, one of the kings of second king in the nation of Israel. Paul will write in the New Testament in his letter to the church at Corinth that, these stories that God included from the nation of Israel in the Old Testament are written for our training, written for our examples, that we might not do as they do in sin, seeing all of the consequences, negative consequences, but that we might do the positive things that they do as far as their relationship with God. And so we can learn. People haven't changed. It's just we drive planes and trains and automobiles, and they did a lot of walking, or mules. So the heart of man is still the same. It's still desperately wicked. So King David, just give you a little background about David. Shepherd boy started out. God said he was a man after his own heart. Which was crazy, because we're going to talk about two of the things that he did. Premeditated, planned murder of one of his mighty men of valor in battle in his army, and he committed adultery with this man's wife, Bathsheba. And we're going to see all of the consequences of that. And one of the things we want to take away today is that there are consequences for everything we do, good and bad. And that the sins that we commit against God, the transgressions of his moral laws, have negative consequences. And some of them are lifelong, as David's will be here, and we'll see that. So we want to learn lessons from the life of David here, specifically in these two sins that he committed, so that we might learn from these. David, started out as a shepherd boy, and God chose him to be his next king after King Saul, the second king of Israel. And he chose him because he was a man after God's own heart, not because he was, perfect, because he certainly wasn't perfect, we'll see here in the next handful of weeks, but because he was a penitent man. He was repentant when he did sin, and he did, and we all do. He kept those times short with God between the time that he sinned and the time that he confessed those sins. He agreed with God that he was a sinner asking for forgiveness. So maybe you can read that ahead of time. So until we meet again, please like us, share us, comment, and push that red subscription button. So see you next time. Maybe you can read ahead. Psalm 51. We got bumped off again?
Mm-mm.
Oh, good.